What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Beats and B-Sides family. How's everybody living? Hope y'all are doing well. So, we are here. How's everybody doing? People that's in the chat. What's up, Ray? Thanks for checking it out. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Glad everybody's enjoying it. These have been getting pretty good feedback overall, as well as me dropping the acapellas every week in preparation for the show. Cats have been loving it, so I definitely appreciate you guys supporting. Celestial Clockwork double vinyl, still pre-ordering. They will ship next week. If you haven't got yours yet, get them while they last. They are not going to be around long. So, yeah. So today we are breaking down Lesson in Love. As you can see, let me backtrack a little bit, my bad. As you can see, I'm dropping the Groove tape this week. It is a collection of instrumentals that I have put together over the last few months, and I didn't do another Beats for You because I felt like this was a different vibe. The Beats for You were more random selections that kind of went together. This one is more, it's a groove tape. It got nice little joints to groove to, and I think it's my best beat tape thus far, personally. So it'd be nice, everybody support that. It's going to be on Bandcamp. And I think I'm going to get this one on streaming platforms as well, sooner than later. So, again, thank you all for joining us. Today we are breaking down Lesson in Love. Lesson in Love. Lesson in Love was... Lesson in Love is actually a true story. We're kind of getting into the meat of the record. The beginning is real, has some depth, has a lot of depth to it. The whole record is pretty deep in my opinion, but then we start getting into the meat. This is the latter half of the album, and it gets more into the stories. And Lesson in Love is kind of like a jump off point of that, where I'm dealing with more of real life situations, because Lesson in Love is actually a true story. It's a extremely true story, very vividly true story. Everything in this song that I say happened. I was dating a girl, she will remain nameless, but I was dating her back before I was married, of course. And I used to took her to Bernie's. All my friends met her. She was super fine. She was a model. She was I believe she was Eritrean, I want to say. Yeah, but she was beautiful girl, and she was a model. And yeah, man, she was wild as hell though. Like, always getting drunk. Just wild stuff. And she really wasn't the type of girl that I went after. Honestly, I don't even really remember how I met her. I think it was through another girl that I actually went to high school with, I believe, if memory serves me correctly. And yeah, so we just started kicking it, and I heard rumors about her cheating on me. I heard rumors about all kind of things. And because she was super fly, I fell, what I'm saying? I fell for the okie doke, it was dope to walk into the club with her on my arm, because she was, again, she was dope. And I really fell for the okie doke. I didn't really fall in love. We weren't together long enough for me to, but I felt in very deep like, and also, as a precursor to First Trimester, the beat that's actually playing behind me now, that song is also based on a true story. That song is about her as well. And we'll dive deeper into that in a couple weeks. I am getting my wisdom teeth pulled tomorrow. I'm not excited about that. So next week, I won't be doing a breakdown, but I will do a 5-spot interview with my man Cryptic One. He, would graciously sat down in the chair and let me shoot some questions at him. And we are talking about samples, the joy of sampling, kind of getting into his history a little bit about, some of the albums that he sampled starting out. So, yeah, next week we won't be having a breakdown, but the week following that we will break down First Trimester, where I'll get deeper into the story of me and her. And the funny thing about me is, I write what I feel, I write what I know, I write what I experience, and all of the songs about women, at least most of them that I've written, are about real women that exist. The song Encounter on the Streets of Gold, or Angel, that was on Unforeseen Shadows, was about my girlfriend at the time. And it was about a real dream that I had about her. All of the songs that I've written about my wife are, songs dedicated to her or about our relationship, our experience together. So I do my best to pour out what I'm feeling and what's actually happening in my life to give you guys a little peek into who Illogic is as a person and what goes on in the life of Illogic. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Eric? But yeah, so this song, and this one is going to be kind of short because the song is extremely self-explanatory. There's no, super depth to this song. There's nothing I don't think I really do need to explain. But it's one of those joints I kind of had to, go over it and, really remembering that time and how I was feeling at that time and going back into those feelings and those emotions. And it was a real interesting time for me. I was, really... Well, Unforeseen Shadows was already out. I think Got Lyrics had just come out. And, I was kind of at the peak of my career here in Columbus, which is probably had something to do with why she wanted to be around me, because I was popular. Whenever we went somewhere, people knew me. She enjoyed the attention. She enjoyed being on my arm when we went places. She enjoyed being, the piece that Illogic had with him, you know what I mean? And yeah, it was definitely a wild time then. But so let's jump into this song and these lyrics, and I got a couple treats for you for this episode as well. So yeah, let's jump into Lesson in Love. So the lyrics go as follows. It was a beautiful Thursday, sun beaming through my window pane. Then a strange rush of emotion awoke me, eyes squinting, strained to focus. Then I noticed an eerie blanket of tainted feeling filled my being. Life walked me on yo-yo string, instinct beckoning me to call my lady to converse. But the responses in the teletalk stalked the chalk outline of my heart. Planned surprise visit, get to the door, listen before knock. Hear a voice laughing with a child's voice. I wonder who's the visitor. I knock and listen, 4 feet pitter-patter to the peephole, then scatter away. A youthful cat opens door to say she's not there now. That's rare, I think, but just tell her ill came by. I could tell the lie was killing him through his transparent eyes. Walking away from the domain, my thought plane takes flight. Idea after idea floating cause the happenings don't feel right. So I grab the cell, dial the digits, say hello. She says, hi, that was my cousin. I was in the shower when you came by. I was like, why'd he say you weren't there? I don't know, but where you at? I'm going to hit the store for some cigarettes, but I'll be back. Gave the dial tone, but it still doesn't sit well. So I like the tip of my camel. Then in hell, back at the crib I in and she's getting ready to bounce. I'm like, where you going? She like, to see my aunt that just had a kid I told you about. Cool, how long you gonna be? Just an hour. What, you coming back to see me? She was hoping I'd say no, but I said yes to cause some stress. We exchanged kisses, I love you, she jets and I chill. Cause I can't dismiss this discontentment I feel. Park in a spot, cloaked by the dark, 20-minute skip on the clock. She comes back, the shock beats my chest, anger fills the rest of me. Regretfully, I go to a door knock and get no answer. Evil's eating away at my sanity like mind cancer, so I run to a balcony, look in the window and explode. Some cat with his lips touching a beauty that I behold. By this time I lost my sanity, climbed up on a 6-foot balcony. Love and hate combined by some weird type alchemy. She sees me, stands there shocked and scared. She was frostbitten by the ice grill of my stare. Dude bounces. She tries to explain, make sense of the lies. The pain that my words inflict bursts her heart. She starts to cry, thinking of ways of revenge. Her tears encourage the rage. Internally, I'm an animal ready to shatter my cage. She comes for a hug. I tense up, flooding my shirt with pain. Looks up with ducks busted, quietly says my name. Sits me down on the couch, kisses my neck, and unzips my pants. Thinking of ways to take revenge, and she opens the chance. Hit it for a nice amount of time, made her come for miles and miles. Pulled up my pants with no words, hit the door, looked back and smiled. Yeah, so that's the lyrics for this joint. And yeah, the ending is a little crude, you know what I'm saying? It's a little crude, but it's true. It's really what happened. You know what I'm saying? It really is really what happened. So, you know, going through, you know, dealing with this girl. And I'm not really going to break down the lyrics because, again, like, you know, there's not a lot to explain. You know what I'm saying? It's not super poetic or anything. But dealing with this girl, you know, she had very strict Muslim parents. They really didn't like the fact that I was not a Muslim, but I had a Muslim name. So, you know, they had hope for me. And they knew that, you know, my mother was a Muslim and she actually had converted to Christianity by this time. But that's the reason that I have a Muslim name. Jawar is actually pronounced Jahuar in Arabic, and it means essence. It means the essence. So that's what my mother named me. And so me having a Muslim name kind of gave her parents a little more acceptance, just because, you know, they thought that I was from good roots. You know, I was raised in good ground, even though I professed to be a Christian at the time, and still do, as does my mother and, you know, most of my family. So she had very strict Muslim parents. But what up, Hugo? What up, Ray? But she has very strict Muslim parents. What up, Jeff? And so, like, I had some of the best food ever, you know, chilling at her crib. Her mother used to cook for her. Her mom really liked me. Her dad, not so much, but he tolerated me. Her mom really, really liked me. You know, she would cook for me every time I would come over. She would, you know, allow me to be up in their crib. And they had a really small 2-bedroom apartment. And they had their daughter. She had an older brother that was still, I believe, back in, no, she was Somalian. Yeah, not Eritrean. She was Somalian. And she had an older brother that was still back in Somalia, if I'm not mistaken. But it was just her and her parents. And her parents were older. And she got over on her parents all the time. Like, she was straight Americanized. You know, she was partying a lot. Again, like, she was getting drunk all the time. She would smoke weed. And when she would get drunk, like, she would get belligerent. She would get real touchy-feely with any male in the vicinity. So I knew that, you know, this was more of a show relationship, because as much as she liked being on my arm, I enjoyed having her on mine. So, you know, fast forward, there was multiple times where, you know, I heard things, confronted her about it, you know, she denied, of course. saying that everybody was hating, didn't want me to be with her, didn't want her to be with me because of who I was. And she always tried to play the game and put it on me. And I understood that this was going to be a short-lived experience with her. I understood that this was not going to be something that lasted, that we were going to get married. And I never was blinded, by her beauty that much to where I lied to myself. But I wasn't trying to get played because I did have a relationship. I did have a reputation at the time, and I wasn't trying to get played. You know what I mean? So throughout the time, I took her to Prince's house. This is when Blueprint lived in Cincinnati, and she would come with me when I would drive out there to record. She would come and hang out, and Blueprint always told me, like, you gotta watch her. You know what I'm saying? Because like he would tell me, like, she be kind of flirting with him. You know what I'm saying? Like when I wasn't around. You know what I mean? So it was one of those situations where I knew it wasn't gonna last long, but I was going to enjoy it while it lasted, And so fast forward to this, part of it, and actually the song First Trimester happened, of course, before this part, because this song is actually the ending of our relationship, and First Trimester was more of a mid section of our relationship. Closer, like this was close, when First Trimester happened and this happened. It wasn't that far apart. We were together less than a year, so it wasn't that far apart. But so I'm gonna go through the song and explain, kind of where my mind was at the time that all of this stuff is happening. So it actually was on a Thursday. It was a beautiful Thursday, sun beaming through my window pane. When I woke up that day, I felt weird. I literally felt strange, like something wasn't right with the day. I got up, went to work that day, and it just wasn't a good day. I called, my girl at the time, talked to her on lunch. We hooked up all the time after work. I would always go see her after I got off work because she was off work as well. And we'd just hang out, see each other, maybe grab something to eat, At this time, I was smoking cigarettes really heavy, and she was as well. And she always smoked Virginia Slims, the real skinny cigarettes. So she would always have me pick her up a pack of cigarettes on my way to go see her. And what up, Jason? And what up, Coop? And so I would always pick up a pack of Virginia Slims to go, see her, hang out. I was smoking Camel Menthol Lights at the time. And so it was Thursday, beautiful Thursday. And the whole day felt weird. Work didn't go right. I just was preoccupied, and I didn't know why while I was at work. And, talking to her on lunch was kind of the only peaceful time that I had. But the whole day just felt weird, the whole day just felt weird. So, I got off work and went to go see her, you know what I'm saying? So, I noticed the eerie blanket of tainted feeling filled my being, life walked me on yo-yo string, instinct beckoning me to call my lady to converse. So when I talked to her, everything kind of felt cool, but when she was talking to me, she was almost evasive, like, I'm going to see my aunt later. She just had a kid, so I'm going to hang out with her later. So when you come through, might not be able to stay that long, but I still want to see you. And it just seemed weird. It just wasn't our normal, it wasn't our normal routine. And it just didn't feel right. It just didn't feel right. So the responses in the teletalk, The responses in the teletalk stopped the chalk outline of my heart. So, planned surprise visit. Now, usually I got off around 5. Today, I was having a horrible day. So, I left work early that day. I left work around 2:30, 3. So, planned surprise visit, get to the door, listen before knock. So, planned surprise visit. I went to her house right after I got off early. Went to her house. And I actually heard a little voice talking to her and everything, and knocked on the door. It was a little kid, answered. He wasn't little. He was like probably maybe 10, 12, something like that. He was young, and said she was in the shower. I heard the shower, but it was just him and her there. So, he didn't want to let me in the house, which was cool. I understood. He didn't know who I was. I had never met him before. So I went out to the car. He said she wasn't there. I went out to the car and called her, and she answered the phone and was like, I went right out. Now, listen, I went right out to the car and called her. And she answered the phone and was like, oh, I was in the shower. And it's like, I don't hear no shower in the background. I don't hear nothing. So it just seemed like fishy. You know what I'm saying? So, I told her I was going to get some cigarettes and that I, come back. So I did go get some cigarettes, and I called. This isn't in the song. I called one of my boys at the time, and, actually he called me. Let me rephrase. He called me, and I'm on my way to the store. And, I just told him, like, yo, man, like, yeah, everything okay? Like, something just don't feel right today. You know what I'm saying? Today just seems like a weird day. And, everybody was cool that I talked to. I called a couple people, texted a couple people, and everybody was cool. And this was back in the day when texting wasn't as easy as it is these days. Like, you had the 3 letters on the phone. It took a long time to text. You couldn't text while driving. And so, went to the store, got the cigarettes, talked to her, said I'll be back over. And I get back to her crib, and, she getting all fly. And I'm like, what the hell I'm thinking to myself, like, what the hell, why you getting all cute and stuff? Because, like, she got off work earlier than me all the time anyway. She usually got off work around noon. And so I knew she'd be at the crib, but she was getting all fly, you know what I'm saying? And when she went out, she dressed, she dressed to the tens. But, she was just supposed to be going to see her aunt, and this was supposed to be later. Like, she was expecting me to come through around 5, 5:30, 6, you know what I'm saying? And she was supposed to go see her aunt after that. So I'm thinking, like, why are you getting all fly and dressed up? You know what I'm saying? But I let it go. And, she, we started talking. We just hung out a little bit, started talking. And it's wild that, at the time when this was happening, like, I'm just looking at her, knowing that something's up, and I'm feeling all weird. She's saying, oh, what's wrong? You seem like something's bothering you. And I'm like, nah, just been a bad day, just happy I got to see you, regular relationship bullshit. And so, she like, yeah, I'm about to go. And I'm like, oh, I thought you was gonna go later. This is what I'm thinking. I thought you was gonna go later. And she like, nah, I'm about to bounce now. But I'll see you, later if you coming back to see me, whatever. So I'm like, okay, but it just seemed weird, man. So I actually, this is all true. This all actually happened. So I had some real serious, like, stalker vibes happening during this time. It's pretty crazy. So I kind of drive, like, around into this shaded area, and just kind of sit, and I can still see the parking lot, and I can still see her car, and I'm kind of shielded from some other cars, and sitting in this kind of shaded area, and I see her pull out. So I'm like, okay. So she did bounce, but something tells me to not leave. So I'm sitting there smoking cigarettes, like, I still had a tape deck in my car. I was listening to, I don't know what I was listening to on the tape deck. And she came back, like, it was probably less than 20 minutes. Like, I say 20 minutes skipped on the clock in the song, but it was probably less than 20 minutes. Like, she literally came right back. Like, she bounced. It was like she went to the store. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like that. She went to the store. And, she came back, and I was like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is she back so soon? So I chilled in the car a little bit, because I'm like, okay, maybe she forgot something. You know what I'm saying? Because she didn't have anything in her hands when she left. But she did have a little bag in her hand when she came back. But I'm like, well, maybe she forgot something. So she goes up into the crib, and she kind of stays. So I chill, and I'm thinking, like, why isn't she leaving again? And I'm like, with this whole day already being messed up, I'm like, okay, let me see what's going on. Hopefully everything is okay, because I'm thinking something's wrong with her. Like, I'm thinking maybe it's an issue with her parents, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, they were older. Something, some reason that she's not there. And the thing is, like, remember, she's not expecting me back for a few hours. So she thought I was coming back, but she wasn't expecting me back for a few hours. So I go to her door, you know what I'm saying? Knock on the door, and nothing. But I know she's home. And so I'm like, okay, let me go, because I knew where her balcony was. And this is some real stalker shit. Like, it's so funny when I remember when I told Print this story. He's like, dog, like, you was like really stalking the shit out of her. Like, this is not a good look, you know what I mean? And it wasn't a good look, but I was so mad at the time that I couldn't control the crap that I was doing. It was so stupid. It was so, because like I said, I suspected her of cheating already. And, all of this was kind of confirming all of this was kind of confirming everything. And so I go to her balcony, look in, and how houses have those long blinds, apartments have those long blinds that you pull the chain and they kind of turn to close and open. That's what she had in her house, and they were kind of cracked, so I could see into her crib. And I saw her with this dude, and they were like kissing. They were like making out like crazy in her living room, like ended up like kind of falling on the couch, making out and stuff. And I'm sitting there pissed, and I just lose it. I just completely lose all sanity, all hope of being, a normal human being at the time. And I literally climbed up on her balcony. It was about a little higher than 6 feet. Like, the bottom was 6 feet. So, and then there was the balcony. So the base of the balcony was about 6 feet up. And then there was a rail. And then there was her balcony. It's so bad, man. Ray is so bad, man. It's so stalker. It's so stalker. It's so bad, bro. It's so bad. It's so bad. So I literally like jumped up, grabbed onto the balcony, like I was so mad, with all my strength, and climbed up on her balcony. And I was standing on her balcony looking in the window, and they on the couch making out, you know what I'm saying? Like, he got his hands up her shirt, all that stuff. And she kind of looks up and sees me and jumps up and like stares at me out the window, and dude looking back at me, and she's like, you gotta go. And so like I jumped off of the balcony. Literally, I almost hurt I could have broke my freaking feet. So I jump off the balcony and run around to her apartment. When I was mad and really messed up, because I could have just went inside the door if she would have just let me in. But I jump off the balcony and run around to her front door so dude couldn't leave before I got to see him, and before I got to confront them about what was going on. This is so bad. This is so bad. I feel like it's so bad. It's so bad. But I was getting played. And I just hate being lied to. I hate being played, especially, being who I was. I had a little ego. You know what I'm saying? My ego was bruised. And everybody was telling me that she was, wilding on me. She was cheating on me. She was going behind my back doing mad things. And I just didn't believe them. You know what I mean? Well, I believed them, but I didn't care as much until I actually saw and had proof. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. I go to her front door, knock on the door. She opens it. Dude's sitting on the couch, and she's like, yo, you got to go. You know what I'm saying? To dude. And, I'm not mad at him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know my girl is fly. I know how she is. I'm not mad at him for being a guy. I don't even know who the guy is, so there's no reason for me to get all brolic with him and, like, it wasn't no reason for that. So he left. I was pissed at her for lying to me, for playing me. You know what I'm saying? All my friends telling me she cheating on me, like just getting my name, messing up my rep. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like I was a choir boy, you know, when we were together, because I heard all these rumors and I was touring, and you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I was going crazy, you know, as far as being a faithful boyfriend at the time. And I wasn't necessarily touring. I was doing shows here and there, traveling back and forth to Cincy, and, you know, just doing random things. And so I do come in the house, we talk, you know, like I'm barking on her. It's crazy. I'm barking on her. She, you know, and I'm saying all kind of stuff, calling her all kind of names, just wilding out. And, you know, she starts crying, and, you know, she's telling me to sit on the couch, sit down. And, you know, she lays on my chest and, you know, just tries to, you know, starts apologizing, crying, I'm sorry, all this. And, you know, and like the end of the song says, like, you know, I'm thinking of like, how can I get this girl back other than just break up with her? You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to get her back because I feel like she played me for a freaking fool. And I want some revenge. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking of how can I get some revenge? And she actually, because she was one of those girls, she was one of those people that really tried to divert attention from herself when she did some shit wrong. She really tried to make, you know, try to make everything well with, you know, I'm pretty. I'm whatever she could do with her body, with that's kind of girl she was. And this wasn't the first time that, you know, this is how she tried to resolve an argument or resolve a situation. So she actually did sit me on the couch, you know, start kissing on me, you know, unzip my pants, you know, did some things. And I was like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, she's taking care of me before, you know, sex actually happened. Like, I'm thinking like, this is it. This is what I can do, because she thinks that doing this is going to make everything better. And doing this is going to, you know, make me kind of forget about it, because, you know, things were good in that department with her. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I'm thinking like, yeah, like this is it. Like, all right, I want to take this. I got to take this as far as I can take it, you know? And so, yeah, like I knew her parents didn't get home till, you know, 7 or 8 or so. And yeah, man, like I had sex for a while, like a couple times. You know what I'm saying? Like I relieved myself a few times. You know what I'm saying? I came a few times, and and after I was done, you know, like she was trying to hold me and all this stuff, and I was just like, well, I gotta bounce. You know what I'm saying? So I got up and I was like, I hope to never see you again. And I walked out the door, and I walked down the hall with a big smile on my face. And later that day, because my mom knew her, she knew my mom, you know, she called my mom and was looking for me, because like I disappeared for the rest of the day and just kind of hung out with my peoples. I wasn't really drinking then, but I was smoking, so I went and got super high and, you know, just kind of dealt with the situation that way and told as many people the story as I could. So when I told Blueprint this story, he's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You got to write something about that. Like, this shit is crazy. You got to write about it. So I ended up writing a song about it. Now, what's crazy is the song, we got another one of these situations. This is the treat I was telling you about. So that's the end of the story. So all of that really actually happened to me. And, you know, telling the story and going back through this song, it's so crazy that I let that happen to me that way, and I got so worked up to where, you know, people could have called the cops, thought I was breaking into somebody's house. Like, it could have got all bad. But yeah, it was wild. But so this is the surprise I have for y'all. So originally I actually recorded that song to a completely different beat. This is one of those situations where, you know, Blueprint actually changed the beat and took the beat and did something crazy new with it. So I want to give y'all a treat and play y'all the original version of Lesson in Love. And now it's on tape, so excuse the sound quality of it. But this is the original Lesson in Love, produced by my man Blueprint. And this has a different intro and everything. Like, we're talking about the situation, and it's a completely different beat. And it was another one of those situations where it wasn't completely produced out, so it didn't really fit. Like, the vibe was okay, but I think what Blueprint ended up changing it to definitely had more of a upbeat, more of a up tempo vibe. This one was a little more subdued and a little too mellow for the content, because we didn't want to make this too dark, because the rest of the album was, and this was kind of a more lighthearted story, even though it was a true story about me climbing on a balcony and stalking a chick. So here is the original Lesson in Love.
Yo, what up, The Logic?
Yo, what's up, friend?
Yo, on this one, why don't you tell the story about that girl?
Which girl you talking about?
You know which girl I'm talking about, old girl.
Oh, that story.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the one.
Yeah, that story is kind of wild.
The ill story.
Yeah, it was kind of ill. Alright, check it out, it's like this.
Yo, it was a beautiful Thursday, sun beaming through my window pane. Then a strange rush of emotion awoke me. I squint and strained to focus. Then I noticed in every blanket a tainted feeling filled my being. Life walked me on yo-yo string, instinct beckoning me to call my lady to converse. But the responses in the teletalk stalked the chalk outline of my heart. Plan surprise visit, get to the door, listen before a knock. Hear a voice laughing with child voice. I wonder who's the visitor. I knock and listen for feet pitter patter to the peephole. Scatter away, youthful cat opens doors to say she's not there. Now that's rare. I think, but I tell her ill came by. I could tell the lie was killing him through his transparent eyes, walking away from the domain. My thought plane takes flight. Idea after idea floating, cause the happenings don't feel right. So I grab the cell, dial the digits, say hello. She said, hi, that was my cousin. I was in the shower when you came by. I was like, why'd he say you weren't there? I don't know, but where you at? I'm going to hit the store for some cigarettes, but I'll be back. Gave the dial tone, but it still doesn't sit well. So I like the tip of my camel, then inhale. Back at the crib again, and she's getting ready to bounce. I'm like, where you going? To see my aunt that just had a kid I told you about. Cool, how long you gonna be? Just an hour, what? You coming back to see me? She was hoping I'd say no, but I said yes to cause some stress. We exchanged kisses, I love you. She jets and I chill, cause I can't dismiss this discontentment I feel. Park in a spot, cloaked by the dog, 20 minutes skip on the clock. She comes back, the shock beats my chest.
And it keeps going, of course. Y'all know the song. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was it. You know what I'm saying? That was the original. That was the original of Lesson in Love. And it's wild that, a lot of these songs I have like different versions of. And, it's cool to, hear those, because I found this tape, that had all these original versions on it. The ones that we did redo, all of them. Some of them have the right beat when we originally did it, like this one, but yeah, so that was the original beat that I actually recorded Lesson in Love to. And you see there was a little intro in the beginning that wasn't on the actual album. We did make a few changes, but yeah, man, so that's Lesson in Love. Just a little word of advice, don't climb on balconies, you know what I'm saying, especially in the hood. Don't do it. It's not safe. And, if you hear rumors of your girl cheating on you from your peoples, and it's a whole bunch of different rumors, this probably happening. You know what I mean? It is probably happening. So, yeah, man, that's really it. So thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for checking this out. Don't forget, we got the Celestial double vinyl still pre-ordering. It's about 60 of them left. So if you haven't got it, get it while it's here, because once it's gone, it's gone. Also, the Groove tape is dropping this week. Hopefully, cats will check it out. I really dig the beat tape, and I think it's one of my best. Some of my, funner beats. I was really playing with my drum programming on this project, and really trying to, get some groovy, get some pockets popping off. Let's see. Final cut. Cohesion. Word. Yeah, man. Nah, I didn't make it, and I don't have one of the reasons that it doesn't that I didn't put some of these other versions on the re-release of the vinyl is because of the quality. I don't have clean versions of a lot of them. A lot of them are on tape, so the quality of them isn't great, and it wouldn't really sound that good. You know, even trying to remaster from tape, it'll be a lot of hiss, and it'll just be a lot of work to, you know, clear them up. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't do that. But yeah, man, thank you all for checking this out. Remember, double vinyl still on sale, or still available for now. Groove Tape Friday, and next week Cryptic 1 5-spot interview. It'll be dope. It's a really dope interview. Hope y'all are here for that as well. And yeah, wish me luck getting my wisdom teeth pulled tomorrow. You know, I'll probably be out of commission for a couple days, so I gotta make sure that all my social media posts are automated. But thank y'all so much for checking us out. Have a good night, and I will see y'all next week. Peace.